Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for game number 2 in the best of 3. That is the myi.insanity team kill here in the lower bracket of the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne Qualifier, spawning in a top left position as the blue Protoss player. Incredibly resilient in game number 1, resisting a lot of swarm host play, and ultimately with a partial air army able to take back control from the swarm. Can he do it twice in a row, though? He's one game away from advancing. It is Stardust. And his opponent is going to be the Red Zerg, spawning in the top right position. A recent acquisition to Team myi.insanity, but has shown tremendous gameplay today and a ridiculous amount of resistance against Stardust, going down in game number 1, but he's perfectly capable of tying it up. Will he do it? We have Kane.
And it looks like Stardust is going to be going Gateway this time around. It is possible the Nexus first to the Forge in the main, but it's looking like a Gateway to me. What is Sammy going to do? What is Kane going to do? Is he going to 3-hatch for a pool? I know he does enjoy that every now and then. 4-player map, you can definitely do that. Meanwhile, it is, in fact, going to be a gateway from Stardust, just to confirm that.
Yep. So
and, yeah, I mean, horizontal spawns. This is spawns where Stardust could go for a crazy 2-base all-in, which Stardust does like to do.
yeah, well, Stardust with his timings, I mean, also it would mean that he gets a little bit more rest before his next match as well. And if he's been napping between games, that's probably a consideration. A third drone immediately getting pulled here from Kane. He's first going to be scouting, though, for any additional proxies. Can't see anything coming through, and he's actually got it on patrol in case a probe decides to sneaky snake its way in there. And we could potentially see a third hatch come out here.
And, well, I think we are, because it's a little late to put down a pool. Like, you can 17 pool, but if you usually go pool, it's almost always going to be a 16 pool. And yeah, there we go. The 18 hatch coming down. He'll probably go 18 gas and then 18 pool.
And boom, double hatch before a pool coming out here from Kane in game number 2 on a very, very large map. Of course, no scouting as of yet coming out from Stardust. It will take a little while for him to ascertain where his opponent is. The first clue will likely be the Overlord, and it looks like this probe is actually going to first be sent down to the vertical spawn, so it will take him a little while longer as well.
Alright, now what's Stardust going to do? I have seen him 4-gate on this map, but it's not going to be that, because he does have 6 guys in gas and not all that much chrono. And, well, I'm really interested to see what his reaction is going to be to seeing this 3-hatch. Because, okay, Stargate coming down already.
Ooh, he does change his scout and go for the horizontal spawns. Didn't see the third base just yet, but he is going down to scout for it now.
Okay, so this is interesting.
Or is he? No.
Okay, I guess he's just going to miss that. That's
right.
A little disappointing.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, it is. But, you know, I think bigger is the fact that there's going to be an Oracle coming before Kane is going to be ready for anything.
Ooh, will this Overlord actually get to see the Stargate?
It would be big. It would be very big, and it looks like he will.
It's so close, and yes, he spots it, and okay, he definitely knows now. And that is pretty useful for Kane. The Overlord scouting exactly what he needed to see at the last second. Let's see what Stardust's reaction to this is going to be. Chrono boosting Phoenix.
He was not going to go Phoenix. This was 100% an Oracle build, but he's going into Phoenix because the Oracle probably would not do enough damage to warrant its production.
And it looks like, well, these two Zerglings are going to allow the Stalker to chase it back. Stalker choosing not to follow, and if it did, it would have started seeing the creep spread from the third base as well. So the longer Kane is able to go, with that base being undetected, the better. Kane obviously thinks it's an Oracle build. Spawn Crawls immediately getting put up inside the main base. And Zergling speed about halfway done for him as well to fend off any ground-based early pressure.
And, okay, there is a Forge coming down. I was kind of expecting to see Stardust throw down 2 more gates and go for 3 gates Stargate pressure here. But the Forge coming down means that he's just interested in playing the macro game. The Stargate will allow him to go for a relatively early, or very early, third base with a Void Ray if he so chooses. Lane's not going to... Oh, no!
Oopsie daisy! That is big. Yep, that Stalker obviously didn't eat enough for breakfast there, and it looks like he is going to get chased around.
He's going to die when speed finishes.
Is he, well, he looks like he really does want this Stalker. Speed is about to finish, and there we go. Just about trapping the Stalker, trying to get the kill in. Has he actually stalled for too much time? He had great positioning on that warp in. 4 Zerglings heading into the main base, acknowledging they're not going to be able to kill that Stalker, seeing if they're able to get a probe kill or 2. Does manage to get 1 or 2 down. Will he get a third? Not quite, as the rest of the army cleans it up.
Phoenix just coming around scouting to see what he can see.
He spotted the creep
Overlords,
of the third base.
Yeah,
Phoenix.
he knows the third base is there by now, I'm pretty sure. And, well, he doesn't really have any Overlords to go after at this point because Kane has pulled them all back. And at this point, Stardust is probably just going to have to go into a third base, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think so. It's taken him a little while to work out everything that's going on here, and Kane just feels like he's in an okay position. He's going to try and get a couple of pot shots off on these Overlords, not able to kill any just yet, though, and we have these Speedlings being very active on the map from Kane. I really like that, as both sides consolidate. The worker counts are currently 40 to 35 in favor of our Zerg player, Kane. And, well, we'll wait and see how much damage Stardust can do with these Phoenixes, just picking apart the odd drone.
Yeah, right now he's not looking to do like critical damage or anything like that. He's just going to try to pick off as many workers as he can, just to set Kane back a little bit. And going after the gas mining drones is always really, really nice. It just delays the gas a tiny bit, nothing too huge, but every little bit counts at the professional level of StarCraft 2, as we know. A bit of a heavy supply block from Stardust, though.
Yeah, he's needs to be careful about that supply and continuing to macro up while he engages with these Phoenixes. He is picking apart a couple more drones, which is great, and if we're not careful, might be able to pick up a Queen as well if it strays too far. But in the meantime, just doing generally a harassment job here. Nate, and 9 and 10 workers killed and counting.
Good job.
Yeah. Even with the Spore Crawlers there, he's keeping the pressure up relentlessly, and that's really good.
This is why I prefer, personally, just getting 2 spores in a mineral line, one on each side. It keeps you much, much safer against Phoenixes. It is a heavier investment, but is it as heavy an investment as losing 11 workers? Yeah,
that's a really good point, actually. Don't forget, if he does that for 1 base, he would probably have to do it for 2 or 3. But you're right, it is a bit of a safer way to go. We've got the Robotics Bay coming down now pretty early for Stardust.
This is cool. This could be some... Remember I mentioned something about really weird 2-base pushes?
Yep.
This could be one. He's not going up to, like, insane numbers of gateways, but he's going up to 5 gateways. He's adding on the Robo Bay, and he's got the Stargate still. He's not producing anything out of it, but... this could be really cool out of Stardust. I don't know. I haven't seen this build from him yet, so I don't know what we're going to be seeing.
All right, and the Phoenix is continuing to do a good amount of damage. What I love about what Stardust is doing with these Phoenixes is he's consistently keeping them all alive, which is so important here as Kane attempts to mount a counterattack. We see a group of Lings coming in towards the wall off. He's going to be joined by more Lings and some Roaches out in the middle of the map as well. No, Kane, in fact, is going to be heading home, decides to think better of it at the last second.
I don't understand what Stardust is doing. Like, this Colossus, if he pushes off 2 base, which is what it looks like he wants to do, is going to be so late because his Thermal Lance is still about 1.5 minutes away from finishing. The army for Kane is going to be way too big. He's going to have Corruptors in the mix. I don't see this working from Stardust.
And the Overseer does spot both the Robotics Bay and the Twilight Council, with the Robotics Bay researching that extended thermal lance as well. So Kane knows that something is up here, even if he hasn't spotted this particular build before. The Spire, it's almost done though.
Yeah, he's going to have Corruptors now, and he should know this is coming. He's getting 4 Corruptors immediately. Doesn't quite have the minerals to get any more, but there we go, up to 7 now, 8 now. So he's going to be very, very, very ready for this. There's no blink. There's not really that many Stalkers. I don't understand this build from Stardust at all.
Good pickup of the drone that was going to make a 4th base. We have Spore Crawlers out now in the middle of creep, just trying to deny this Phoenix harassment even further than already is. Continuing to kill off more and more drones. 23 and counting this game so far. Not a single Phoenix has been lost. So Stardust, very, very cost effective with this. But what does he have planned? Again, no movements towards taking a 3rd base. So whatever he's got planned, he's going to have to do it quick. He is getting the ground weapons level 2, and I wonder if that's just going to be the signal for a big attack here.
Well, ground weapons level 2 is still a long way away, so it looks like Stardust is just going to take an incredibly late 3rd base, which is unnecessarily late, and I really don't like this from him at all. I don't like the way he's playing this game.
That is really weird. We were waiting for that funky 2-base. Maybe Stardust has now realized that there are enough units out in the middle of the map. This 2-base timing isn't going to work, and he's just consoling himself by saying, okay, I'll just try and take a 3rd base, albeit a bit late. But look at this, the Lings force the cancel on that already, and the number of units that are out here from Kane is... I mean, it's huge, right? Okay, I don't think he can necessarily push into the natural just because of the presence of these Colossi, but he is now keeping Stardust very effectively contained on 2 bases.
Yeah, and I mean, Stardust doesn't really have anything he can do against this. He's waited far too long. He doesn't have the economy to really trade. He doesn't have the amount of units to engage straight up into a concave. he's continuing to do very, very well with his Phoenixes. He still hasn't lost any and has killed 24 workers, but that doesn't, in the grand scheme of things, that is now not that big of a deal.
Ooh, and the Corruptor's just about getting to the Phoenixes, still not having lost one of those 6. But you're right, as the game goes on, they get increasingly less useful. And increasingly less... Ooh, never mind. Is one finally going to go down? No.
Nope.
Wow, these are the Immortals right here, man.
All right, let's check the kill count. 7.
Yep.
3, 4, 7, 6, 3.
I make that 31.
That's not bad at all.
No, wait, that can't be. Because the total workers killed is 24.
Maybe it's Lings and Queens and stuff.
Maybe it isn't.
Oh,
yeah, good point.
Nexus gonna go not down again by the... Actually, it could still go down.
It could.
The army drawing a lot of the fire, and down it
go.
goes. Cancelled once again. Very, very disappointing for Stardust. It's 15 and a half minutes in and he's on 2 base. He's going to start mining out of his main very soon. His natural will follow not too late after. And this entire build has just been so strange from him. And with Roaches coming out to help tank, Hydra range, +2. Kane is maxed. He's going to start banking and he can just remax on whatever the hell he wants after that.
Sacrificing just enough to get that cancel in on the 3rd place. And, well... These Phoenixes are just worth their weight in gold right now, to be honest, mate. They're doing so well. Kane actually supply blocked here as well. 67 drones to 53 probes at the moment, and Stardust still struggling to take a 3rd.
Oh, the Mother Support goes down.
The 3rd doesn't get cancelled this time around, though.
Not yet, but Stardust is trying to push into a concave at the low ground. There are a lot of Colossi here that can do a little bit of damage, but with only +2 upgrades against the now +2 upgrades of Kane... or in a couple seconds, +2 upgrades to Kane. He's going to lose this base again. Cancel once again. And Stardust, he puts it down again.
Wow.
That's a little bit premature. But Kane not going to go for it.
That's very aggressive. Kane, yeah, not being baited into that base just yet. Just waiting for the correct opportunity. And still, these Phoenixes, unbelievable. 30 workers killed and counting right now. Oh, but the big battle, oh, there we go. The 3rd cancelled again for the umpteenth time. And the probe this time goes down as well.
This is... Stardust is banking so many minerals. Like, what's up with his macro? He doesn't have... He should be building a ton of pylons because he's going to be supply blocked. He just doesn't feel... Like, it feels to me like he's not even playing this game really anymore because he just doesn't... He just doesn't know what he's doing.
This is so weird. Yeah, this...
He's just so thrown off.
The whole mid-game plan, if there was one for Stardust, just seems to have completely disappeared now. And he is getting those pylons in the main base like you were talking about before. But by this point, I think Kane's advantage is just... Okay, yes, the Phoenixes are definitely starring in this game, but Kane's advantage is just so absolute in terms of his map control.
I mean, what can Stardust do from here? His main is now mined out. His natural still has a pretty respectable number of minerals, but now he's got a bunch of probes that are useless. And Kane has a 2.5, 1.7k bank.
Yeah, if he can't... I mean, even if he can hold this 3rd base, he's still in a disadvantaged position. But definitely if he can't hold this 3rd base, this is looking pretty toasty, I gotta be honest, for Stardust. The heat is getting ramped up, and I don't think he has much of an answer for it right now. A 2nd Spore Crawler going down at this 4 o'clock base for Kane, just not wanting to have to deal with those Phoenixes much longer, because, to be honest, they have just been so good this game. But it's just not enough to deal with the macro advantage that Kane has right now.
Yeah, I mean, still hasn't lost a single Phoenix. A couple of Roaches are going to be thrown away for free. Whether or not that's deliberate, not deliberate, because he's remaxing on more Roaches. And here comes an engagement. Stardust has Storm. He has a really strong army, actually. And with amazing storms, Kane just doesn't move.
Oh my god, those storms have all of a sudden... They have the potential to turn this whole thing around, and Kane right now is retreating with an army that is entirely in the orange and red. Stardust has centered. He has picked his moment. He's found a snowball, and he is going to roll with it as far as he possibly can. He needs to. He's been on 2 bases for so long. He knows he has to make this work, and... He might just do it here. Fantastic storms once again from Stardust. Kane eating pretty much all of it. The Phoenix is getting involved with the action as well. And surprisingly, GG, Stardust wins. And even in that engagement, all 6 Phoenixes survive. Wow.